tells you why Baker is battling more than just the Steelers tonight. The herd starts right now.
Undisputed.
Oh, this on a Thursday, Steelers-Browns tonight is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We're on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. 1 hour from now, you know, I call it my NFL meat sandwich. Greg Cosell stops by if you play fantasy football, if you gamble, if you just love football. Greg Cosell's about 10 minutes. You have to watch and listen to on our radio dial or our TV show. Joy Taylor is joining me on a Thursday. So she's from Pittsburgh. So she's a Steeler girl, and for most of your life, you have looked down upon Cleveland.
Well, I mean, it's not been hard. Sorry, am I going to take any more easy jabs at the Browns? Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for tonight.
But it's interesting tonight, Joy, because this is the year it could have been a mess for Pittsburgh.
Yep.
They lost Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and the Steelers once again have their act together. And this should have been the greatest year in 2 decades for Cleveland. OBJ and Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb. Here comes Kareem Hunt. That defense, Olivier Vernon, Denzel Ward, and they are again a mess. I saw a stat this morning. This may be my favorite NFL stat ever. And it's not about the players. The last 6 Cleveland Brown coaches, I'm not making this up, have all been fired after a Steelers game. Oh, my Lord. If that doesn't scream low football self-esteem. And they've all been fired after the second Steeler game. So Cleveland comes into a season. They feel good about themselves. They lose to the Steelers once. We're going to get them the second time, and they lose again. And the owner, whoever it is, and the GM, whoever it is, low self-esteem, chaos, and panic. They fire the coach. Last 6 coaches. I said this about a year ago. In fact, it was last August 12th. I looked it up. The AFC North, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, is a big family. The Steelers are the very successful father. He created generational wealth. He is aged. He is handsome. Not every year's been great. There have been little dips. They're always brief because the Steelers are very smart and very successful and never panic. The Steelers had a son. His name is Baltimore. Tough as nails, dependable, always trustworthy. You want to be in the foxhole with Baltimore. You can trust Baltimore. They work their way through problems. Yes, they grew up with a great dad, but they've earned everything. Then there's Cincinnati. That's the less successful son of Pittsburgh. They're always looking up at the more successful son, Baltimore. They're the red-headed stepchild. Never really good in a big spot. Any success ends briefly. They can't be successful without screwing it up. And then Cincinnati has a son, and he becomes a huge loser, and his name is Cleveland. He's the loser son of the loser son of his father, and he's just too far away DNA to get his act together. He's just too far removed from good DNA, constant chaos, talks a big game, never backs it up. Unlike Cincinnati, he doesn't even get brief success. He just screws that up, which is why Baker is perfect for Cleveland. Yep. False confidence. Tonight, Cleveland should win going away. That's the way it should work if you lose your Hall of Fame quarterback like Pittsburgh, start the season 0-3, get blown out in week 1, and lose 2 stars over the course of a year, AB and Le'Veon Bell. But that's not what's happened to the Steelers. The very successful father puts his arm, has built a great culture, arms around the family. They go make a big move in Minkah Fitzpatrick. The culture, the mettle, the moxie, the intelligence, the history. They're actually a playoff team today and have absolutely no reason to be. And then there's Cleveland. Most hype in 2 decades, mostly been big injury-free. A quarterback who now gets the guy who helped him last year, Freddie Kitchens, saddle up alongside him, and they're just a big hot mess. But they are favored tonight, as they should be, because if you had a Hall of Fame quarterback and you lost him in season and you replaced him with Mason Rudolph, sounds like a painter, you shouldn't go to Cleveland and win tonight. But Pittsburgh will win tonight because that's what Pittsburgh does. The successful father has had several dips. Terry Bradshaw retires. Big Ben gets hurt. Do you know Mike Tomlin is 15-10 when Big Ben gets hurt? You know, outside of Belichick, the 1 year Brady was gone, you do get that doesn't happen really in the NFL. So tonight is not only a football game, it is a battle of cultures. Smart, successful, tough, don't talk a lot. In fact, got noise out of the locker room. We don't want the noise. Cleveland had an interesting football team, but traded for more personality and noise. I'm not just rooting against Cleveland tonight. What I'm rooting for is Pittsburgh, their culture, their history, their reliability, their toughness, and I root for people who talk less, do more, and overcome bad breaks. And the Steelers got it, were blown out, and this morning they're a playoff team. That's impressive. Not shaven 3 times for a football game. Let's shift to this. This made me laugh. It will make Joy and the rest of the AFC fans cry. Alex Guerrero is Tom Brady's trainer, the pliability guy. He said Tom is not going to retire after the season. In fact, he said he's going to keep playing and keep playing. Not 2 more years, not 3 more years, not 4 more years. Tom's going to play potentially 5 more years until his mid to late 40s. This is Alex Guerrero.
It all comes down to commitment. I certainly do believe that 45 is a very realistic goal. So, we talk about it all the time. Like every year, he just adds another year because he goes in, he's like, God, I just feel so good still. Like, I think I'm going to go to 45. I'm like, okay. Then it's like, now he's like, Alex, I think I can go like 46 or 47.
Joy's cringing. The Pittsburgh and Miami girl is cringing. Let me say this. I've always said this about LeBron. When you write the book on LeBron, chapter 1 is, dude is great. Chapter 2 is, he is physically remarkable. Hurt once, now we're asking him in year 17, go play point guard. Chase around smaller guys. Chapter 1 on LeBron is unbelievable. Chapter 2 is physically, I've never seen anything like him. When they write the book on Tom Brady, hope I get it right, the first chapter will be GOAT. Second chapter will be he is psychologically the strongest player in league history. And I want you to think about this. Think about the men with egos, alpha males. Can you imagine being the greatest person to ever do something in the country and yet being told, we will not pay you like the greatest person ever? You'll be paid significantly less than people with no Super Bowl appearances. But I'm no, we're not going to pay you. Then we will not furnish you with elite pieces like Patrick Mahomes. No, we don't do that. That's not our culture here in New England. Third, we don't compliment. We don't treat you like a star. Money? No. Adoration? No, wrong football operation. At least give me elite weapons. No, we're not going to give you that. In fact, all Tom Brady seeks, because he knows he can't get the other stuff, is what his wife said on the documentary. Remember that?
These last 2 years have been very challenging for him in so many ways. And I think he just want, he tells me, I love it so much, and I just want to go to work and feel appreciated and have fun.
Money, no. Adoration, no. Weapons, no. He just wants a little respect. Now, think about this. Jerry Jones, every opportunity, tells you how much he loves Dak. Pete Carroll, 3 times this year. Russell Wilson's having the best year of his career. Andy Reid furnishes Patrick Mahomes with constant love. John Harbaugh told Lamar Jackson last weekend, I love you, man. I love you. On Tom Brady's birthday 3 years ago, This was Bill Belichick's reaction.
Right. Well, first of all, I don't think we want to miss Chris Parker's birthday either.
Yeah, it's a backup offensive lineman's birthday, too. Remember the video Joy and I showed you when Belichick gave Brady the game ball? It was uncomfortable. Bill was doing a solid. Bill was fired in Cleveland, comes to New England, losing record 5-11. Tom comes over. Bill becomes the greatest coach ever. He gave him a game ball. It was uncomfortable. Chapter 1 on Brady, greatest I've ever seen. Chapter 2 is, I don't have the mental strength in my career, if I was as great as Tom, not paid among the best in my profession, never get a compliment from my boss, although I don't seek those, but not even given an elite staff. Can I get like a really, can I get Joy Taylor? She's not available. She's expensive. I don't get Joy. No. We found somebody in Sheboygan that's almost as good. And Brady never complains. Just wins Sunday. He's going to play to 47. Maybe 48. We're just going to, every year, we're just going to stretch it.
I'm just going to continue to suffer. I told you, this is why I refuse to write them off for the Super Bowl. Besides the fact that they don't have any elite weapons. I'm not doing it. I won't do it. I'm not going to fall for that again.
You've been hurt too many times.
I have.
Coming up next, Cam Newton's like, sure, trade me. I'm good. Which I love that attitude, by the way. Oh, I'll move. I think there's 2 teams in the league he's going to end up with. I think there's 2 that are going to go after him. And I'm going to line up the possibilities, and I think it's pretty clear. I think there's a favorite, and then there's a very strong 1A with Cam Newton. Greg Jennings, Peter King, Greg Cosell, Will Blackman, love him, on the show today as well. Good stuff. We are now being warned about e-skimming. Yeah, that's out there. We're being warned about e-skimming. That's when cyber criminals watch online shopping carts in order to steal credit card and debit card information from websites and mobile apps. I swear to God, targeted businesses include retailers, ticket-selling sites, travel-related companies, utility companies, vendors. I mean, it never ends, right? It's important to understand cybercrime is really affecting all of our lives. Identity theft is another serious issue. Somebody's identity is stolen every 2 seconds. And you get your credit. I've had people, their credit ruined on identity theft. I've had my identity theft. My identity's been stolen 2 to 3 times. Thank God it hasn't screwed up my credit.
Just one for me.
It's going to happen to you. Just got to come to terms with it. LifeLock detects a wide range of identity threats. LifeLock can't prevent all of the theft or monitor all of the transactions, but now until December 8th, get a special radio discount. Save 30% or more off your first year. Go to 1-800